It's Wednesday, July the 17th, 2024, and we have a little bit of WNBA action today, last day before the Olympic break, so we might as well get into a few winners today. This is the Free Three. What's up, guys? It's your boy Noble Living back with another DYF Bets video where I'm breaking down my favorite picks and plays of the day as we're just trying to get to the bag together and make some money. It's been a slow last few days. Obviously, MLB All-Star break. We got the WNBA going into the Olympic break, right? Not a lot of sports are on right now, so this is when things can sometimes get a little bit tough, a little bit tricky, but always going to find winners here on the Free Three channel, and that's what we were able to do yesterday. 2 in 1 day, we were so close to a sweep. We cashed in on our nerf fee in the first inning between the American League and National League. No sweat bet there. We got it done. We got a really good odds value. If you tapped into the channel, we got it at like minus 130, minus 135. By the time the game time started, it was like up to like minus 70. So we really got good value there. We also cashed in on Asia Wilson's points. I mean, it finished with 28 points. So you love to see that. Our only loss coming on the day yesterday was when we took the Liberty team total under 79 points and they scored 82. I mean, that game was trending literally under the entire game, and then the Sun gave up on defense and the Liberty scored a few more points. And I mean, the Sun, that's just disappointing. If you can't even beat the Liberty or at least be competitive without Brianna Stewart, I mean, I don't know how you get over that morale-wise. They've literally lost like the last 6 games to the Liberty. If you're trying to compete for the WNBA championship and you're the number 2 team in the conference, I mean, hopefully you can pick up one win against the number 1 team, but it's neither here nor there. Tough loss there. I thought the Sun would play a little bit harder. I thought that would be a little bit of a closer game. So 2 in 1 on the day. You can see our year-to-date record right here. Not too shabby. For today, we're gonna run it back. We only have 2 WNBA games on, so I'm only gonna go with the later game because one of the games start at 1 o'clock. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit that bell. We normally drop the videos around midday, so around noonish is when the videos come out. Obviously, with a game starting at 1 o'clock, you really won't get that pick. So if you do want an early pick inside the WNBA, I will drop one inside the Discord group so you guys can have that, all right? So the picks today are coming only in the later game between the Fever and the Dallas. I'm going to break that game down here for you guys real quick. And if you are a fan of the channel, I just want to give you guys a little quick status update. Friday is when the MLB starts back again. My goal is to drop a video on Friday. It's probably going to be a little bit different and not the same background. I'm going to be on the road. I'm actually going to be in Miami on Friday. So because of that, I just want you guys to bear with me over the next few days. I got a DJ in Miami for a big event, so it's just going to be a lot of up and down. So my goal is to get out videos for you guys on Friday, Saturday, but sometimes it just might not work out that way. But I want to let you guys know that I will do my best to give you guys winners, but the Discord group will always have plays. My Twitter, I'll drop plays from here and there, but always, if you guys are looking for like the hierarchy of where the plays will be dropped, it's normally going to be Discord first, then it's going to be YouTube, then it will be Twitter. So, you know, if you guys have been tapped into the channel, I do appreciate all the love and support, but just wanted to give you guys a little update as to what's going on in my world and what's going to be on the horizon coming here in the channel. College football is almost here, so I'll start breaking down some college football games or at least teams, and then we'll start throwing a few future plays as well in there here on the channel. So be on the lookout for that real quickly, and let's dive into these winners today in the Indiana Fever and Dallas Dream matchup. For my first best bet of the day between the Fever and the Wings, and I'm going to go with the Fever here on the spread, minus 3.5, minus 115 odds. Now, your book might have this at minus 4. I'm buying the hook there. The actually line has moved in favor of the Dallas Wings. It opened up around 4.5. Now we're seeing it down to 4, and then I'm taking it at 3.5. I like that 2-bucket kind of advantage that we get late game. If it's a close game, we go to the free throw line, we knock down 2 sets of free throws, we get over this number here. Now, one of the reasons why I actually do like this play is because if you watch the Daily Juice podcast with Matt Peralta, he does a great job there on Betting Pros, a great fan of the show, love the work that he does, but he's been cold over the last few weeks, and he actually has the Dallas Wings on the spread here at the plus 4.5. I have to disagree, and I'm going to fade him, and considering how cold he's been, I don't think it's a bad pick, but that's not the only reason why I'm fading the Wings here. If you look at the numbers about how these two teams have been trending, they've been going in completely different directions, okay? The Fever have been playing some of their best basketball all season, and they've really been figuring it out on the offensive end. And I think one of the main reasons is because Caitlin Clark has not been looking to shoot the ball as much. She's not looking to score as much, but as a result, she's really turned into more of a facilitator. I'm going to kind of talk about why I like that a little bit later in my next pick. But when you look at the Indiana Fever, when you look at their overall stats, right, as a team, they literally have 4 players right now who are averaging double-digit points. Kelsey Mitchell leads the team with 17 points per game. Caitlin Clark is shortly they're right behind her at 16.8 points per game. You've got Aaliyah Boston at 13.7 points per game, and then you got Nalissa Smith at 11.6. So you literally have like a four-headed monster here that can hit you in four different ways, and they all get their buckets in different areas in different ways. But four people averaging double-digit points, that's exactly what you're going for. Meanwhile, on the other side with the Dallas Wings, they've been plagued by injuries all season long, and I think this 1 month break that we're literally going to get, because literally we have the game today, we have the All-Star game on Saturday, that's going to be between the Team USA and the WNBA All-Star team, and then the next game in the WNBA is going to come after the Olympics, so it's going to be like August 15th, August 20th, something like that. So these girls literally get a whole month off, and Dallas could not need that more. Not only is none of their players on the Olympic team, but they've been plagued by injuries all season. We saw Natasha Howard miss the beginning of the year with a broken foot. She's come back. She's been fighting her form, but she's still not all the way there, and I'm sure a month off could really help her. We've got Arika. We know what she can do on the court, but she's been asked to do a whole lot. She's averaging career highs, not only in shot attempts, but also in assists and rebounds. So she's shooting the ball more than 20 times per game. She needs to be able to get a little bit more help. And literally two of the leading scorers from this Wings team last season have been injured. So this month-long break is going to help them out. But also keep in mind that this is a Wing team that has lost 3 straight games and 4 of their last 5 games. So they're not really in that great of form. Meanwhile, the Indiana Fever have won 2 straight games, 3 of their last 5 games, and they now find themselves at an 11-14 record and in the playoff conversation now in the Eastern Conference. That's one of the reasons why I'm really going to lean the Fever here. Caitlin Clark, we know, is not on that Olympic team either, so she's going to get about a month-long break. I think all these different factors are going to play into the fact that the Fever are going to go hard today. They are the better team. They're the better momentum. And if you also look at the spread numbers, I'm going to read you the spread numbers. Over the last 10 games, the Indiana Fever are 7-3 against the number. Meanwhile, the Dallas Wings, 1-9 against the number. At home, 2-8 against the number. Meanwhile, on the road, the Fever are 7-7 against the number and 5-3 as a favorite. So all these reasons are why I'm really going to lean towards the Fever. The numbers are telling me to take the Fever. They have the better players. They're the more rested team. They're in the better form. And 3.5, I love that because it's not that many points. If you can get a cheaper live, be my guest. I mean, we saw the Aces lose yesterday to the Sky, so anything can happen. But overall, I think the Fever, the form that they're in, I like the way that they're playing. And I think they figured out a lot of things on the offensive side, which has led to them playing better ball at this point in the season. Now, speaking of better ball, one of the things that they figured out on the offensive side of the ball is that Caitlin Clark is the star, right? She's the person that's bringing more people to the WNBA, that's got people watching the WNBA. She's doing what she needs to do as an ambassador of the game. But when you look at what she's been doing on the court, she started off the rookie season a little rough, right? She wasn't hitting as many threes as we're used to seeing her in Iowa. She wasn't being dynamic in terms of taking over games. Well, over the last few weeks, she's really been figuring it out, and that's why I mentioned the 4 players that they have who are averaging double digits. But that's not just the only thing that's really been going well for the Fever. It's also the facilitating of Caitlin Clark that has been really leading to their success of late. And as a result, I'm going to back her today, and I'm going to take her over 9.5 assists, and we get that at -125 odds. So not really bad there. She's gone over this number and has reached double-digit assists 5 of the last 6 games. She's gotten at least 11 assists. So let's look at some of the recent numbers for Caitlin Clark when we look at her assist numbers. In her last game against Minnesota, she missed her 9 number because she only had 6. But if you look before that, 13 assists against Phoenix, 13 assists against Washington, 13 against the Liberty, 11 against the Aces, 12 against Phoenix, 7 against Seattle, which her number at that game was 6.5, so she actually went over. She had 13 against the Sky and 7 against the Dream, but again, her number was at 6.5, so she went over. So she's literally gone over her assists 9 in 8 of the last 10 games, and this 9.5 number in 6 of the last 10 games. So we've seen her consistently be able to do this. She's been in really great form. I like the facilitation that this team has been doing on the offensive side of the game, on offensive side of the ball. Aaliyah Boston's playing some great basketball right now. 8.8 assists per game, including going for 16 rebounds and 17 points in her last start, So these are some of the reasons why I really like the Fever here today. And I believe that if they're going to continue to be effective, then they're going to need Caitlin Clark to continue to facilitate the basketball. That's what she did at Iowa, and now she only has better players around her. And I think she's starting to realize in the professional game that she does not have to do everything. She doesn't have to put up 30 points a game, 15 assists, and 10 rebounds for the Fever to win. And she actually has been able to flirt with triple doubles recently. I mean, she grabbed the triple double against the Liberty the other day, and that led to the Fever coming back and winning that matchup. And we saw how good that Liberty team is. So that's what Caitlin Clark I could really expect for her. Her scoring numbers have taken a dip, but her triple double numbers, her overall impact on the game has gone up as well. Her turnovers have gone up as a result as well, but that's neither here nor there because we just need her to get the assist number, right? But these are just things that I'm looking at, and I like the form that Caitlin Clark is in. I like the form that the Fever are in, and I believe that over 9.5 assists is a good look today. And also keep in mind that the total of this game is 176.5. That's a very high total. When these two teams faced off during the preseason, they didn't face in the regular season yet, but in the preseason, the final score was 76-73. Now, Caitlin Clark only had 3 assists in that game, but again, it was the preseason. She wasn't used to the WNBA. She was just coming off of a national championship run, or going deep into the national championship there against, with the Iowa Hawkeyes. So she didn't have a lot of time of rest. And we literally have a 20-point difference on the total. That preseason game, the total was like 155. Now the total is at 176. So we're expecting a whole lot more offense. The Wings are an over team, and they're even more of an over team at home. The Fever are an over team on the road. So I'm expecting a lot of offense here today. I'm not saying that this game is necessarily going to go over, even though I do lean the over, but I do know that there's going to be a lot of points scored. And if there's a lot of points scored, that means Caitlin Clark is going to be available. She's going to be in the mix. 9.5 assists is not asking too much. So let's sprinkle that as our second and final best bet of the day. Well, that's it for me today, my friends. Just 2 bets on the card today. I would have thrown a third one in there. If you do want a third one, Aaliyah Boston's rebounds is at 9.5 at plus value. Like I mentioned, she's gone over this number in 2 straight games. She had 16 last game. She had 13 the game before that. So that might be a number that you want to take a look at, as that really, guys, has her confidence up. You can look at Arika's assists at over 4.5. That's also at plus value. And she's averaging 5 assists per game right now. And again, we have a high total as well. So these are some of the things I'm looking at. Natasha Howard, her points is something that's been appealing. It's at like 16.5. So I'm going to have a few added extra plays inside the Discord group. So if you want those, click the link in the description and I got you. But for officially for the channel, just 2 picks. We're going to go with the Fever on the spread -3.5. And then we're also going to go Caitlin Clark over 9.5 assists as our 2 picks of the day. Tomorrow we'll be back. I don't know how much sports we'll have on tomorrow because it's like Thursday and MLB All-Star break. And then I think there's no WNBA tomorrow, so we'll see if we have any sports on tomorrow. If we don't, then maybe I'll cook up a few futures bets, or maybe I'll throw in some tennis in there. I don't know. We'll see. But if not, if you don't see a video from us, it's just because I couldn't really find any picks that I liked. A little bit of a slow season here in the sports world, but it's okay. Don't be impatient. Don't be too antsy, because college football is right around the corner, and the NFL is going to be right there as well. And we're going to definitely be able to run up the bag when we have all the different sports on. All right, my friends, let's get to that cheddar, and I'll see you on tomorrow's video. Later, guys.